Your visions will become clear only when you can look into your own heart. Who looks outside dreams. Who looks inside awakes. I am not what happened to me. I am what I choose to sought to become. Until you make the unconscious conscious, it will direct your life, and you will call it fate. The meeting of two personalities is like the contact of two chemical substances. If there is any reaction, both are transformed. The privilege of a lifetime is to become who you truly are. Knowing your own darkness is the best method for dealing with the darknesses of other people. Everything that irritates us about others can lead us to an understanding of ourselves. Your perception will become clear only when you can look into your soul. The most terrifying thing is to accept oneself completely. Loneliness does not come from having no people about one, but from being unable to communicate the things that seem important to oneself, or from holding certain views, which others find inadmissible. The word happiness would lose its meaning if it were not balanced by sadness. Mistakes are, after all, the foundations of truth, and if a man does not know what a thing is, it is at least an increase in knowledge if he knows what it is not. Thinking is difficult, that's why most people judge. The first half of life is devoted to forming a healthy ego. The second half is going inward and letting go of it. The greatest and most important problems of life are all fundamentally insoluble. They can never be solved, but only outgrown. The shoe that fits one person pinches another. Oh, there is no recipe for living that suits all cases. Every form of addiction is bad, no matter whether the narcotic be alcohol or morphine or idealism. The creation of something new is not accomplished by the intellect, but by the play instinct, acting from inner necessity. The creative mind plays with the objects it loves. Where love rules, there is no will to power, and where power predominates, love is lacking. The one is the shadow of the other. One does not become enlightened by imagining figures of light, but by making the darkness conscious. What you resist persists. The unconscious is not just evil by nature, it is also the source of the highest good. Not only dark, but also light. Not only bestial, semi-human, and demonic, but superhuman, spiritual, and, in the classical sense of the word, divine. The more intensely we feel about an idea or a goal, the more assuredly the idea, buried deep in our subconscious, will direct us along the path to its fulfillment. A man who hasn't passed through the inferno of his passions has never overcome them. People will do anything, no matter how absurd, to avoid facing their own souls. In all chaos, there is a cosmos. In all disorder, a secret order. Your big opportunity may be right where you are now. If you are a gifted person, it doesn't mean that you gained something. It means you have something to give back. Neurosis is always a substitute for legitimate suffering. The dream is the small hidden door in the deepest and most intimate sanctum of the soul, which opens into that primeval cosmic night that was soul long before there was a conscious ego, and will be soul far beyond what a conscious ego could ever reach. Man's task is to become conscious of the contents that press upward from the unconscious. Society is like a stew. If you don't stir it up every once in a while, then a layer of scum floats to the top. We should not pretend to understand the world only by the intellect. We apprehend it just as much by feeling. Therefore, the judgment of the intellect, here it is at best, only the half of truth, and must, if it be honest, also come to an understanding of its inadequacy. The debt we owe to the play of the imagination is incalculable. Everything about other people that doesn't satisfy us helps us to understand ourselves. The healthy man does not torture others. Generally, it is the tortured who turn into torturers. There is no birth of consciousness without pain. Even a happy life cannot be without a measure of darkness, and the word happy would lose its meaning if it were not balanced by sadness. The greatest burden a child must bear is the unlived life of the parents. Show me a sane man, and I will cure him for you. Man needs difficulties. They are necessary for health. The pendulum of the mind alternates between sense and nonsense, not between right and wrong. The greatest tragedy of the family is the unlived lives of the parents. The unconscious is the unwritten history of mankind from time unrecorded. Man cannot stand a meaningless life. The least of things with a meaning is worth more in life than the greatest of things without it. You are what you do, not what you say you'll do.